busy. 3 pair of socks, a cardigan. Merry Christmas! I hope you are all doing well and wonderful, and you grabbed a cuppa. This is full of iced coffee today. It is caramel macchiato. International Delight, I believe. But yeah, so I have iced coffee in my Polish pottery Christmas mug. Isn't that pretty? I bought that in, oh shoot. I think I got this one in Black Mountain when I met some friends there to go to the Black Mountain Yarn Shop one time. I don't know, Rhonda, maybe you can help me out. I think I bought that there when we were there together. Okay, welcome to the podcast, to the Yurt.Cast, to our yurt, back in front of my Christmas tree. Short episode, but I wanted to hop on and say Merry Christmas. We are getting ready to go to Charlotte tomorrow to see the grandies. Our one granddaughter turns 9 tomorrow, so we're gonna have to celebrate that, and then I'll just stay and celebrate Christmas with everyone. I'm so excited. So today I'm busy. I want to get the yurt I want to get the podcast recorded and the yurt cleaned, all laundry caught up, get packed. We're leaving early in the morning. Can you tell I'm excited? Okay, so what have you been doing? I hope you've been knitting socks. I hope you've been knitting these socks. This is what's in my bags right now. I think I showed it to you last podcast, but these are my Christmas socks. My Christmas socks. I've never knit me a pair of Christmas socks before. So these are from a bunch of scrappy yarns that I thought looked like old-fashioned Christmas candy and candy canes and gingerbread. I still have the ends of this one to weave in. But so today, after I've got all of my work done, I'm baking cookies right now. After I get all of that done, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna knit on this. Start the second one. And they will be finished by Christmas Eve. And then I will have my very first pair of Christmas socks. Okay, I've had a gazillion questions about these socks. First of all, let me start out. This is the Patton spiral tube sock, I believe. A free pattern. I will link to it in the show notes. Everything that I show and talk about is always going to be linked in the show notes from now on because I learned how to do that. So if you have any questions, you feel free to ask me, but check the show notes because more than likely all the information will be there. So I will link this pattern in the show notes. It's a free pattern. I will tell you what I do. I started out with a size 1 needle. The very first pair of this pattern that I knit with the size 1 needle. They were snug. However, I like a snug sock. I think it's warmer. It went on easily. There was no problem of getting it on, but the recipient thought it was just a little snug. So I thought, since I had so many requests for knitted socks, that I should bump up to a size 2 needle. So then I bumped up to a size 2 needle. That seems to work well with most people. They've been very happy with the fit. For myself, I wanted them just a little snugs, little less than the 2, a little more than the 1, so I settled on 1.5. And of course, these are all US sizes. 1.5. So I'm knitting my personal socks on a 1.5. I cast on 64 stitches no matter what size needle I use. So that's no matter what size the leg. The ones I just finished for my husband, I knit on size 2s because he's a man, his foot's larger, and 64 stitches, and they fit him. Now, he hasn't tried those on, but he's tried on another pair that I've knit on a size 2 with 64 stitches, and they fit. So that's what I use. Now, you've asked what size of yarn. I use fingering sock yarn. For the most part, all of mine are just scraps. Some of the socks that I've knit have been with Felicia's fingering from Knit Picks. But, so yes, always fingering and usually sock fingering, okay? Then you've asked, do the heels wear? First of all, I've only been knitting these since summer, so I don't know. There's no pair that's old enough to know if the heels have worn out. But here is my theory. These socks, there's no front, no back, no heel, no toe per se. So you just pick them up and you pull them on. So your foot, your heel, is not going to be in the same place every time you wear them. Make sense? They're like a heelless tube sock. And so there's no front or back. So when you put them on, your heel's always going to be in a different spot. So I think that kind of it evens out the wear, so it's going to last longer. Also, it's the knit for purl 4. So I think that gives it a lot of structure to where it's not going to wear as quickly. You've asked, do they stay up? Yes, however, I slouch my socks. I scrunch them down. So for me to say, if you're going to wear them as a knee sock and they're going to stay up, my guess is yes, because when I've pulled them up just to get a feel for if they would stay up. They seem to. But then again, it's not fair for me to give you that answer because I slouch my socks. I typically knit them 18, 19 inches long, and then I start the toe. And the toe is only this there. That's where the toe is. So I knit this 18 or 19 inches, and then I start the toe decreases. What else have you asked? These, however, I didn't need as much slouch. To be honest with you, I've knit so many socks that I thought I didn't need all that slouch, and so I went a little shorter just to get them done. But there's still plenty of slouch room in it. And I think these might be about 15 or 16 inches long. I'm trying to think. I should have wrote down all of your questions. You asked about the heel. You've asked about the fit. When I have them on with boots, mainly I wear them with boots because I'm not a tennis shoe person. So if I have my tennis shoes on, I'm walking like to be fit. And I have just thin little footies on. Or I have like my Adidas. I don't have these kind of socks on with them. I do wear these with my Birkenstocks, and they don't slip around. So in my experience, and this is just totally my experience, they stay on my foot. They don't slide off. They don't wear. They're not uncomfortable. They are my go-to sock. I absolutely love them, okay? So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. On the ones that I did for my husband, and I had the little snowball heels, or the snowball at the toes, someone asked me what pattern, how did I do that? And really, here's where I did it. I was working on another pattern, the drift cowl, or the shift cowl, by Andre Mowry. And so I liked the stitch in one section, and I just incorporated that in the toe. And basically it's just a slip. I slipped two, knit two, slip two, knit two, and that, and then for 2 rounds, and then I knit 2 rounds of the solid color, and then I did 2 more rounds, knit 2, slip 2 of the snowball pattern. Really easy peasy. I mean, I'm not even giving any, you know, if you think about that long enough, I'm sure you could figure that out. But so yeah, I'm gonna do more fun things with the toes now that I've got all that crunch Christmas customer orders out the door. After I finish my Christmas one, my other Christmas one, I'm gonna make me some more, and I'm gonna experiment doing some fun things on the toes. That's the plan. So that's in my bags, and then the other stuff is the same stuff that I showed last time. I did take out my Advent. I'm not really good on mystery cows. It's not that I don't like I've always known I don't like mystery cows, because if I'm gonna spend that much time knitting something, I want to know that I'm gonna love the product. So I took a chance on 2 Advents this season, one by Sophia of Camabornia, and one by A Crofter's Tale. I think her name is Nina, because I love both of their styles. And so I knew that was going to be a safe mystery cow. And so I started both, and Nina's A Crofter's Tale, I'm happy with those colors. Sophia's, I started out, and I got to the second clue, and then I got stopped because I had so much of this to knit. And then I started noticing it's a hat, and so I started noticing people's hats, and I knew right off, I love this hat. I do not like my colors that I chose. So last night I frogged it, and I'm gonna start, and I chose colors that I like, and I'm gonna restart that. So I am gonna do it. It's just not gonna be done for Christmas, and that's no big deal. It wouldn't have been done for Christmas even if I'd have done it in the colors that I didn't like. So that's the only thing that's changed about what's in my bags, and nothing else. But boy, I've got so much that I want to cast on. Remember last podcast, I said I'm no new cast-ons until I got all my stuff done. Yeah, right. I know you all laughed out loud when I said that. I mean, I know you're going, yeah, right. Next podcast, you'll have something new cast on. I don't have anything new cast on, but I always do a Christmas Day cast on, and I always do a New Year's Day cast on. So I'm not quite sure yet what those are going to be. But I need to get it figured out, because I need to take my Christmas Day cast on with me so I can cast it on while I'm in Charlotte. But the list is long. The list is long. Let me tell you what I've been doing. Okay, so 2 things I've been watching that you'll probably like to watch. But they're both on Netflix. One is Home for Christmas, I think. I wrote it down. And if I can get that book. Sorry. Home for Christmas. Okay, so they just released season 2 on the 18th, Friday. It's so good. Now, it can be raunchy in places, so if raunch bothers you, you don't want to watch it. But she's a knitter, and that's cool. So, you know, I can overlook any kind of trash. Just get me to the knitting. I love that show. So there's 2 seasons out. Then, of course, Anne with an E. I started this series several years back, and then I got pulled away from it, probably life, and I never got back to it. And so in my mind, I was thinking I didn't like it because it didn't pull me back to it. 2 people recently have said do you watch Anne with an E? And I'm like, nah. But then there was a day where I didn't have anything to do and I was knitting and I thought, oh, well, I'll just start that again. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've watched the whole thing. I watched it like, I think there's 3 seasons. I watched those within a week and then I've restarted it. I'm planning to, 2021 is going to be all about Anne with an E because I'm going to start some cows. I'm working on those, working on collaborations. And so there will be like the first quarter we'll do 3 knits from season 1. Second quarter we'll do 3 knits from season 2. Third quarter we'll do 3 knits from season 3. And then fourth quarter, I don't know. I've got some ideas turning. I've just got to get them all mapped out before I start talking about it. So I hope that you're ready to go for an ride with me, and we are going to have fun. Start watching it if you haven't watched it. And if you, oh my gosh, if you see any knits that you think, hey, we have to do this one, let me know, because I've got some that are in my head, but boy, oh, there's so many to choose from. So that's 2021. I'm excited about 2021. I am so excited to exhale 2020 and inhale 2021. Oh, I mean, I've had years that I've been glad to be finished with, but this one, extremely glad. I think everyone's in that boat. There's been some good things that have happened this year, though, but I'm ready to move on, and surely to goodness, life will get back to normal. Not the new normal. I hate that word. I want normal. I want like back to normal. Like you hop on a plane and you go somewhere. You go to a ball game, or that is my normal. This will never be my normal. I will never accept it. So they need to get some answers and they need to get it figured out soon. All right. Let's see let me show you something else that I did. And it is, put that down there. And this fell. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Every time I bend over, I feel like you can see my gray. Oh my goodness. It's been like since the middle of October since I've had a haircut or a hair color. I go this week when I'm in Charlotte. I can't wait. All right. This book by Cath Kidston. I don't know if it's by Cath Kidston or if it's just decorations by Cath Kidston. And I don't have my readers here, so I can't tell you. But this book, it's like a kit. It has 12 ornaments in it that you can make. And so I've made 5 of the 12s, and I've had it for several years, so I don't even know if it's still out, but it is, all the ornaments are really fun to make. But this is the one I made this year. I've only made 1 ornament this year, and it's called the reindeer, winter reindeer. But isn't that cute? Oh, I've got it backwards. There's her little bow. It's felt, stuffed, sewn together, really cute. But, so I made that since we last talked. I really want to be better. In the past 3 years, I've done really good with ornaments, making them. This year, I didn't. I kept admiring them, kept thinking I was going to. And then it was like this week, and I saw this book, and I thought, okay, I can at least do 1 of those. So I did. Next year, I want to start making I want to make some crocheted balls that I can't even remember who's been doing it, but I think Stylecraft has had some on their website, but I want to make at least a dozen. So I have some for my tree and some to give away. But so my plan is to keep knitting ornaments throughout the year, or crochet, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But that's all I'm making. I'm pretty sure I finished the painting that you saw in the opening. And I haven't finished anything else that I know of. Just socks. I've been knitting socks. Knitting socks. What I'm wearing. Okay, so I did this 3 years ago. And I wore it that Christmas, and then we moved, and so it got boxed up and put in storage, and it wasn't unpacked last Christmas. So this Christmas is like I have a new Christmas sweater. But this is, if you can see the trees here, the trees all around the bottom. It was in this, and this is, I'm trying to look and see what the date on this magazine, 2016. Sorry about that. So it's old. I don't know if you can still get it. I don't know if the pattern is sold as a singular on Ravelry or not, but you might check. It is called Into the Woods, and the maker is Pat Strong. She's the designer. But here's the one they had in the book, in the magazine. I love that color. I could definitely knit another one of these. That's how much I love this. Like, I will have this on all week. But yeah, this, and if I remember right, when I went to look it up on Ravelry a long time ago, Into the Woods, there's a lot of patterns under that. So just keep searching. The skill level is a beginner plus. So if you haven't knit, I'm telling you, if you haven't knit a sweater, this will be a great one to start with. It's done on chunky yarn, big needles, goes fast. There's not a lot. This is just knit and pearls right here. So there's a little bit, I think it's probably chart reading. Let me see if I can flip back to the pattern and see if that, the Christmas trees, I'm pretty sure would have been a chart. But very simple chart, yeah. Very simple chart to read. It's just knit and purl. It's not like color work where you're changing colors. But I love it. It's very comfortable. Like I say, I wear it a lot. So that's what I'm wearing. Also have some hand knit socks on. Boop. Look. Bet you don't get that in too many podcasts, do you? So that's what I'm wearing, Into the Woods. That's all that I have to talk about. Let me see. Oh, I do have this one other thing to show you. This came in the mail this week. Someone messaged me on Instagram and said they had seen something, and they, as soon as they saw it, they knew it was for me. So, but I sent them my address, and of course, I'm going to send you my address. And so she sent me this, and it's a little notepad that says, "Take it one stitch at a time." Isn't that adorable? I love that. That is so sweet. She sent me some hot chocolate, and then she sent me this. I collect rosaries. Everywhere we go, everywhere we travel, I collect rosaries. And so she sent me this, and I'm not sure it's a rosary or if it's a necklace, but it's going to hang with my rosaries. It has these little medals that say, little medallions that say "Pray for us" in between a crucifix. So "Pray for us," a crucifix, "Pray for us," a crucifix, or a saint, one. And so it's going to hang with mine. But it also, there's a little button closure here that you can open it, and then you could, I guess, wear it as a necklace. I may wear it as a necklace sometime. It's that beautiful. And the pearls are freshwater pearls. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So Lori, thank you so much. It's just a treasure. Oh, I love it. And I looked up because all of my rosaries are hanging there. This is on my easel, my painting easel. And so, oh, I'm all tangled in my earrings. So it's going to hang up there. But isn't that beautiful? Oh, my lands, that's so special to me. So that was an exciting day. I think it was yesterday that this came in the mail. And so that was so much fun. But, so I've gone through out of my bags what's a little bit that's in my bags. And this, I guess, would have been a gift bag, my gift bags. And my shopping bags have just been nothing really artsy, because it's all been Christmas, and so Christmas shopping, and mainly for the grandies. So yeah, there's just not a lot to talk about, but I did want to come on and say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for following me all year, and I just wanted to get on here and say how much I appreciated it, and just, You mean so much to me. I love our little community of interacting and just hanging out together. We have a lot of fun. You bring a lot of joy to my life. You hand me handfuls of candy canes. Well, my daughter came last week, and it was her first time up here, so that was fun. The girlies had been here before, but she had never been. And so we got to go into town one morning. She didn't get to stay long. She was just here overnight, and we went into town that morning and, you know, shopped around a little bit, and then ended up in a coffee shop. And I recorded this little entry from my journal that I had wrote and sent it to my sisters. And so I thought I would just close out with it here and just give you handfuls of candy canes, because you are wonderful. And I think so much of the time we just critique ourselves. We were hiking one weekend, and we were at this overlook, and I heard the lady behind. I'm taking video of everything and pictures of everything, and her lady behind me talking to her husband, who at the time was in front or off to my front, and she said, he said, let's take a picture. And she said, no, I don't want to get it in the picture. I'm too fat. I'll take a picture of you. Okay, so number one, at that point, I felt like, okay, the man should have said, oh no, you're not, come get in this picture, but he didn't. Typical. And so I continued doing my thing, and it just kept bugging me. I thought, I've got to see what this woman looks like. And so I just stood there for a while waiting for her to kind of get in front of me. And when she got in front of me, I was just like, are you serious? She was beautiful. I mean, there's just no other word. She was beautiful. And they walked off, and it just kept eating at me. And so then they walked back, and I said, excuse me, ma'am. And she said, yes. And I said, did I just hear you say? And I told her what I heard, and she laughed. And I said, you are so beautiful. I said, you should have been in front of that camera, really strutting your stuff. I said, of course, like all of us, she was middle-aged. She was probably didn't have the body that she had when she was 20. And so there you go. And I thought, we are so hard on ourselves, and we're so critical, and we don't stop to take the handfuls of candy canes that we should take. And so I just, I don't know what you're struggling with this season, but I just want you to know you're beautiful, and you're talented, and you're creative, and you're loved, and you're worthy. And I don't even know what your faith is. My faith is Christian. I don't know what yours is. It doesn't really matter, because I think the message is the same. We all need to be easier on ourselves, kinder to ourselves, accept the love that Jesus gives us, and just strut our stuff. I mean, go with it. Just celebrate who we are. And so I hope that this little Saturday morning devotional or words of encouragement that I sent to my sisters will make a difference in your Christmas and how you look at yourself. Yesterday, while in town with Adrian and the girlies, we went into our local coffee shop. When checking out, there was a container of free candy canes. I took one each for both of the girlies, and then I stepped outside to wait for my coffee. When I turned back and looked through the door, I noticed that the girlies were grabbing each a handful of candy canes and sticking it down in their little bag. It reminded me of the scriptures, "Come as little children." Children will eagerly take what is offered. Adults, we've been trained to politely and humbly take less. I'm guilty of taking less. Less love, less joy, less adoration, less confirmation, less hope, less when it comes to what Jesus offers. But I'll take handfuls of judgment, criticism, worthless thoughts, discouragement, Those things that need to be rejected, those lies, I accept with abundance. And the things I should be abundantly accepting, the truth, I tend to pick miserly from. So, 2021 and beyond, I'm taking handfuls of candy canes, handfuls of acceptance, joy, patience, belief, faith, hope, love, affirmation, handfuls of forgiveness towards myself and others, handfuls of rest, laughter, peace, handfuls of candy canes. And that's what I'm giving to you, handfuls of candy canes. I hope that you each know how precious and treasured you are, how beautiful you are, how talented you are, how adored and needed you are, how appreciated you are. Let's all try to do better in 2021. Let's take handfuls of the things that children would take handfuls of. Let's be like the little children. And then let's learn to just take miserly from the things that are meant to harm us and to discourage us. Let's learn from those little lies, but let's live from the handfuls of candy canes. Handfuls of candy canes I give to thee. All right, well, I'm gonna get busy finishing baking my cookies and doing laundry and cleaning the yurt so that I can get packed up and I can sit down and I can knit my second sock. So, whatever you do between now and the next time we meet, and everything you do, take it one stitch at a time and take my handful of candy canes. Take two. He's made me laugh so much that I've rubbed my eyes and I have no makeup on. But this is his first shot at this, so.
I'm ready.
So be patient with us. All right, so our first Christmas at the yurt. What's your favorite memory?
Going to get the Christmas tree.
That's a good one. We had fun doing that.
Yes, we did.
And what about the snow?
I like the snow, but it's very slick coming up the mountain with ice on it. Going down's even worse.
And he ended up in the ditch.
Yes, I did.
His first time. So he's not going to do that anymore.
I'm not going to do it anymore. Learned my lesson.
Mm-hmm. Learned his lesson. Are you excited to go see the Grandies?
Yes, I miss my grandchildren.
What? You act like I have a microphone in your face. He's really a crazy nut. What's one funny thing you can tell us about yourself? Okay, let's take that back. Since they don't know you, they don't care about a funny thing. What's one funny thing you can tell them about me?
You're crazy.
No, that's not funny. Do you like my new cardigan?
I do.
See, this is the pajama cardigan.
Looks very good.
By the Autumn Acorn, Judy Jewel. And when I stitched it, I know this isn't of any interest to you, but when I stitched it, I didn't hide the seam. I made the seams obvious. So, and I color blocked it because I had to use what was in my stash.
Oh, okay.
I'm saving you some money.
Very nice. Thank
by
you.
using what's in my stash.
Thank you for saving money.
How many years have we been together? They might be interested in that.
39 years. 39 years.
And I was a baby.
You were a baby, 17 years old.
No, I was baby.
Okay.
Don't tell them 17 years old, then they'll be able to figure out how old I am.
Yes. Since 1981.
1975. Oh,
That makes it worse. That makes it worse.
Still tell them how old I am. All right, well, can you tell them Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas from Ruby Moss Cottage.
From the yurt.
From our little yurt. Don't buck her up 5 miles out.